Hey everyone, we are live at the Paste Studios in New York with Sarah Pinsker. Sarah, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I have enjoyed your book to no end. I've read it actually like 1.5 times. I read it again after
Whoa.
I've finished it the first time. A Song for a New Day. I enjoy it very much. And so you've got some music, and we'll chat about the book as well. Can you tell us what's coming up first?
Sure. I'm going to play you a song called Too Many Questions. This is an older one. It's off of an EP that's a few years old now, but it's... I actually like to start sets with this one a lot because I don't have to explain before this one. It is what it is, and it's about not having control of a situation, so which is kind of what happens when you're at the beginning of a set in any case. So this tattoo wasn't there last night, at least I think, but that's alright. I kind of like it. This kind of thing just comes around. I try to roll, it knocks me down. I think I like it. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying not to ask too many questions, 'cause you get too many answers when you do. When you do. I found a pirate's map last night, but no pirate was in sight. It's on my shoulder. There's an X that marks the spot, but it seems someone forgot to place the landmarks that would help me figure out just where to go. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying not to ask too many questions, 'cause you get too many answers when you do. When you do. Tells me where the wind is coming from and where the wind is going tonight. Tonight. I've got a picture of your face and I know treasure when I find it, so I'm looking for a face to match the picture in my mind. In my mind. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying not to ask too many questions, 'cause you get too many answers when you do. When you do. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying to get by. Not to ask too many questions. No.
Nice. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we're hearing 3 songs today, and 2 of them were from previous albums, and there is also one from a forthcoming project which will be out in 2020. Can you talk to us about where you're at in that process right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So that album is totally mixed and mastered and in the bag. It's got everything but the artwork, and I've finally found the artwork that I wanted for it, and it's been a bit of a long road because I got into this book thing in between and sold a couple of novels and a collection, and suddenly found myself with a whole lot less time to devote to music. And so I put it on the back burner, and it hung out there for so very, very long. But I really, really do want it out in the world, because it's silly to have music that you've made and you love and not put it out there.
How do you see yourself as like 50-50 musician writer? Do you see yourself as more of a writer these days, more of a musician, or what's your identity like inside of your brain?
I see it as like a seesaw that is going up and down, and maybe someone is not playing fair with one side or the other at a given time. I'm spending way more time. It's hard for me to do both well, is what I'm discovering. I would have. I don't have enough. I mean, you need 100% for both, and you can't. It's just not possible in my life right now. So music is definitely getting the short shrift, which I'm sad about. But I at least wrote a music novel that I'm really proud of. So it doesn't make up for it necessarily. Like, it doesn't make up for it to my band, but maybe it's worth something.
Well, it makes up to me. I mean, I don't have any skin in your game at all, but I really enjoy the book quite a bit. And you won a bunch of fancy writing awards too, right? Have you won fancy music awards or just fancy writing awards?
Fancy writing awards. I mean, a couple of music awards, but they weren't very fancy.
Does that tend to swing the seesaw in that direction? That's gotta feel good to be recognized like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's there's a level you can get to sometimes, and you recognize when you've got into that level. And I feel like I have levels yet to explore in fiction, and I sort of hit a plateau in music that was a place that I liked being a lot, but I stopped striving maybe. Like not in terms of songwriting or playing, but in terms of hustle. I think I might have given up the music hustle.
And do you feel the writing fire and the writing hustle?
Yeah,
it seems like
feeling
you do.
the writing hustle.
That's my most favorite thing that I've read since George Saunders, a book of his short story, or Lincoln and the Bardo, actually.
Wow.
So,
I'm going to take that as a huge compliment, because I love
really,
that book.
Really enjoyed it. So we'll dive deeper into the book after some music. You're going to play a second song right now.
I did forget to tune though. So let me just have a moment. I can, if you don't mind my gazing rapidly at a tuner, I can also talk as I tune. This is a song from the new album that will be, and actually it is the title song. No, that is not true. It is not the title song, but I like it a whole lot. And it, like most songs, it is about unrequited love at the circus sideshow. It's a popular theme, so I thought I'd, get on the bandwagon. Well, I am just the size of a half-finished thought, and most of my thoughts are on you. From the day that I arrived to be the only thing I can, well, I have worked at being larger in your view. And the sign out on the midway calls me real life human doll, but you're the one who lights up the marquee. And people pay to look at me until the real show starts. That's when I slip between the pegs so I can see. And we're more alike than different, you and I. I've got the ground, you've got the sky. Yeah, we're more alike than different, you and I have the ground, you have the sky. My world is sawdust and tan bark, in a crowded canvas tent. You live life 50 feet above the net. When they turn the spotlight on, your body blazes like the sun. Nobody watching dares to draw a breath. And I arrived a freak, I just manipulate the circumstance. But you're the one who fashioned your own star. Still we both know how to muster all the courage that it takes when you first force yourself to let go of the bar. And we're more alike than different, you and I've got the ground, you've got the sky. Yeah, we're more alike than different, you and I have the ground, you have the sky. Maybe you're the substrate for some dream I can't fulfill. Another misplaced hope for a connection. But I can't help but notice that we're seeking the same thing. We just come at it from different directions. And I am just the dust that got trapped in your orbit. I got drawn in by the pull of your star. And I'm too insignificant for you to ever notice. But if you're looking, I am out here, I am out here, I am out here. I am out here. I am out here. I have the ground, and I am.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
So the book, it's a really good book. I enjoyed it a lot. This is a song for a new day. This is that. It is like a near future dystopia where congregations of people are outlawed because terrorism, because disease, etc. I mean, it's a plausible outcome, and it's very well described. And so in this future, concerts can't possibly happen, and it's just about these musicians. And I don't know, should I just synopsize the entire thing? No, I shouldn't. That's going to be super boring. It's such a good story. I mean, the main character is like this sort of an Ani DeFranco maybe type character, perhaps a Grace Potter, perhaps a Joan Jett. That was one of the real life musicians that people have seen in this lead character. And it's just about people trying to get together and connect as opposed to doing things through screens. I'm done saying words. Can you say this more elegantly? Can you tell us what your book is about and why it is so good?
Oh, I can do the first part of that anyway.
I'll do the second.
All right, sounds good. That's a good match. Yeah, so it's a like you said, a near future story, like next day type of thing, where things are pretty plausible that the next steps after shootings ramp up and there's an outbreak of another bad flu. Like, the question that I asked was, what would it take to get people to stay home? If the government said people should stay home tonight, like, would you listen? And then if they said it again the next night and the next night and the next night, would you listen? And so I followed this through the voices of two characters, one of whom, like you said, is a musician who was just sort of on the cusp of something big before this stuff started going down. And so she had a life that was before this and plans for herself. And then it talks about what happens to her as this stuff goes down. And then the other character is someone who has grown up under that new scenario where people declared their willingness to stay home and follow when the government said to do that. And so she's sort of this young, more naive character who's grown up with in sort of a VR thing that developed, because companies, of course, will jump into the void and say, hey, like, you can't go out here, try this. And so this great VR thing has developed, and she, as far as she's concerned, it's good. And so I get to play with the nuance of, is it good, is it bad? There are good things about it, certainly. There are people who can't go to shows who like would love the chance to put on a headset and see a really good show virtually. Like that's the case now. There are people who can't make it to a show. So it's not 100% bad. I didn't want to set out and make a scenario that was 100% awful. So I think one of the things people have responded to a lot is that for a near future story and a story with that kind of stuff happening, it's a hopeful story. And I've found that people have reacted to that, because it's a music story, and I think where people have music, people have hope.
Yeah, well, I appreciated and enjoyed the nuance that you used to. It's the Walmart type company that's selling everything and selling these virtual experiences. There is some value to what they're selling, but you're examining what's the value of interpersonal connection. A lot of people think about this every single day because everybody spends too much time on Instagram, and it's a reality right now that's like, you've taken it to a logical extreme, and it's interesting the way you did it. I really enjoyed that book a lot.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of podcasters who were all like, sign me up, like, when can I do this thing? Like, this is great, I don't have to actually interact with people in the real world. That wasn't the reaction I was expecting to get, and I was like, yeah, there are definitely people who would dig that, and
well, dude, we're literally doing it right now. The people that are watching this is a digital representation of you. I'm having this real experience right now, but we are creating a facsimile for everybody else who's watching this through the internet tubes. And I don't know, there's value to it. This is what I do every day. This is my job. It's not without value, but there is no way. I think it seems like your point is one of your points among many is that there is no replacement at all for that interpersonal communication and interaction. Humans touching other humans and sweating and drinking beer, etc., is not a digitizable experience.
And this isn't the same experience as going to a show and having your face rocked off. Like that moment where, that just transcends anything. Like, your feet stop hurting even though you've been standing for hours, and like the band, like, you're just there in that moment, and that to me that's a religious experience. So yeah, I guess it's the black and white that is the problem. If it's the only option, that's when it starts getting bad. This is great because we also have the option of going out to hear a band tonight.
Well, yeah, and I would like to think that the thing that we are doing right now is hopefully introducing a bunch of people to your book who will buy that physical book and interact with it and touch the pages and read it. Most of what we do here is bands playing 3 songs who are going out to the knitting factory or to wherever, and I would like to think that people use these things as an entry to actually leave the house and go do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if not, they can sit home and read the book too, so that's cool.
Yeah, but the physical book, not the PDF of it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it very much. Everybody, the internet, please check it out as well. A Song for a New Day. is what it's called. It's great. And you've got a third song for us today, right?
I do, and this one is in the very folk tuning of drop C. This is another older one. It's called Cavedrawing, and I think this kind of fits the themes of the book more than maybe the others. Well, no, the last one does too. But I wrote this after I saw a documentary about people living in one of the tunnels, one of the abandoned subway tunnels, and it took a camera down and showed all the graffiti. And I was just thinking at the time about like people who are living a subsistence level life and also still finding time to make art. Like, I mean, not everyone like tagging tunnels is I don't know. Let me give that a little. But yeah, this is about, you know, the need to make art no matter what. And if the string holds. Do. All right, that's better. Just giving it a moment. Drop C. Guitars love it. It's okay, I've got all day. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, I've got all day. I've got all day. 'Cause every night I make masterpieces on the vaulted ceilings of the cathedrals of the underground. And every night I can feel them all pass through me, like I'm running on the third rail, like I shine with electricity. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, I've got all day. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, I've got all day. I've got all day. 'Cause every night I make music with my brushes, a symphony of color, not the voiceless noise of waking life. And every night I can feel them all pass through me, all the faces that still haunt me, and the blurring ghostly yesterdays. Yeah, this tunnel is longer than Fifth Avenue. It's wilder since they cut it loose. This tunnel is longer than my brush will last, but I paint fast and it's alright. I've got all night, I've got all night, I've got all night, I've got all night. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. 'Cause every night I make masterpieces on the vaulted ceilings of the cathedrals of the underground. And every night I can feel the train pass through me, like I'm running on the third rail, like I shine with electricity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, I've got all day. It's okay, it's okay, it's It's okay. Got all day. It's okay.
All right, cool. Thank you, Sarah, for coming by. Thank you for this copy of the book. I really sincerely enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to whatever's next. I don't know, is it public information? It's not public information. What you have cooking right now, or no?
Yeah, the details of the book aren't public yet.
Okay.
It was a 2-book deal, so that part's public. So there's another novel coming. I'm hard at work on it.
Sweet. Well, you're super good at writing books, so I'm looking forward to the next one. The details will all be up at sarahpinsker.com when they do become public. And thanks for the music and the chat about the book. I really appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
All right.